So starting off this prediction video, will Carlisle manage to bounce back, or will Barnsley continue their charge up the league? Obviously a very disappointing one for them last time out. They lost 5-1 against a really informed Lincoln side, but going away to Carlisle, I don't think there's going to be any problem for them. Carlisle obviously narrowly losing to Charlton at the weekend, but I think they're going to lose this one a little bit more comfortably. I'm going to go with a 2-0 win to the away team. Now over to Highbury, where can Fleetwood keep up this unbeaten bit of form that they've been on recently? Well, I think they will, because Bristol Rovers are very hit and miss, but Fleetwood seem to be battling for every single point in the minute. And I think those last half an hour, when they were down to 10 men against Steelers, embodied that perfectly. I think they're going to kick on. I think they're going to win this game narrowly at Highbury, but I'm going to go with a 1-0 win in front of their home fans and keeping their staying up hopes alive. Now, next up, can Leyton Orient bounce back after a couple of tough games for them recently? Obviously, they face a very out-of-form Port Vale, so they look like they could be going down. And Leyton Orient need to get 3 points here, in my opinion, if they want to keep any playoff hopes alive. Obviously, that sort of dropped off over the last couple of matches, but I do think they are going to bounce back here. I do think they are going to win. I think they're going to win fairly comfortably at Brisbane Road, so I'm going to go with a 3-1 win to the home team. Now we move over to the LNERC, and where can Lincoln continue their late push up the league? Now obviously I thought it was going to be Leyton Orient that would be the ones that have come from a much lower position and getting themselves into the plus, but it could be Lincoln, as they just beat a team that's fighting for automatic promotion 5-1, which is absolutely massive for them. Obviously Cambridge haven't been good either, so I can only really see this game going one way, and that is to the home team. I do think that Lincoln are going to win this game fairly comfortably, as they've been very good over the last few months now. So I am going to go with a 2-0 win to the home side. Now next up, both these sides have got draws at the weekend, and I think they are going to continue that fashion. Obviously Blackpool, in my opinion, will be the happier of the two sides with their performance on the weekend. Obviously Blackpool went down to 10 men in that second half, and well, at the end of the first half, sorry. But we're down to 10 men for the whole of the second half and managed to keep Portsmouth out. We only had a couple of chances where we hit the post twice. We were quite unlucky, I think, in my opinion, not to get that goal. But Blackpool definitely did match us in terms of work rate and ability, I think. So I think they're going to go with a bit of confidence, but it's a tough place to go sixth. There's many teams I've found out this season, especially like Bolton. You know, they only got a point there. So I'm going to go with a 0-0 draw. I think both sides will settle for that. Now, next up, can Pompey bounce back after a disappointing day out over at the Seaside as well? I think we will. I think we're going to be good at home, hopefully, for the remainder of this season. Obviously, we've got a couple of injuries off the back of that game that have been really tough. Callum Lang and Jack Sparks. Lang looks worse than Sparks, but we haven't got a left back at the minute. I do think we are going to have enough to get through this game, though. If the Fratton faithful can get behind the boys, I think it's going to be a good night in PO4. And I am going to go with a 2-0 win to Pompey. I think we need to win here. There's just no debate about it. We need to get all 3 points here, and hopefully we can do it. Now, next up, we head over to Crowd Meadow, where both these sides will be having a bit of a positive boost after the weekend's action. Obviously, Shrewsbury getting 3 points and moving themselves away from the relegation zone, and Exeter picking up a vital point against a very good Bolton side. But I do think it will be the home side will have a little bit too much for Exeter, and I'm going to predict a narrow 2-1 victory for Shrewsbury, which will be massive for them. Going back to back and wins at this point in the season, and considering where they are in the league, will be crucial for their survival chances. Now, can Wycombe or Wigan get another win and make it 2 on the bounce? But I don't think so. I think neither of them are going to do it. I can see this game being a draw. Adams Park is a tough place to go through for any away team. Wigan obviously bouncing back from a disappointing game a couple of weeks ago with a win on Saturday. Same goes for Wycombe as well, actually. And I think it's going to be a very tight game. Lots of goals in it, but I think the goals are going to be shared equally. I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw in this one. Now, can Bolton get some wins back on the board at the Tough Sheet community? Saying, well, I don't think so. I think they're going to continue to be 1 win in 5. And Oxford are going to take something out of that last game. Obviously, they weren't very good in that game, but they got all 3 points last time out, which is absolutely massive for them. And even when they came out to us, I could see there was something about this team that's going to be very hard to beat. I think Bolton are going to find that as well. They're not going to be coming off the back of that game with any confidence against Exeter. And I think that Oxford are going to get something here. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw. I think that Oxford will be very happy about that. Now, obviously, with the penultimate game is at Pride Park. And Derby versus Reading, it's going to be a very tight game in my opinion. Reading are a very good side, and obviously they only are where they are due to point deductions, but I think they're going to be completely fine this season. But they're still going to have something to play for, which means they are going to be going at every single team now, and I think Derby are going to feel the effects of that. Derby, they're a good side, obviously got a very convincing win at the weekend. Reading coming off the back of a disappointing loss, but if we look at it, every time they've lost, they've responded. I don't think they're going to get a win here, but I think a 0-0 draw would be a perfect result for Reading and a disappointing one for Derby. Now, finally, it's hard to argue with Peterborough's record, as they've just, off the back of 4 losses in a row, they've gone and won 5 straight wins, and that is massive at this point in the season. Getting these runs going at the right time. I mean, I thought Peterborough were down and out, but they've bounced back, and that is a crucial thing at this point in the season. However, they play Stevenage, who, as you can see, they've not lost in their last 4 matches and are a very good side. Steve Evans has got his team playing some good football, but I do think Peterborough are going to have a little bit too much for them. I am going to go with a convincing 2-0 win to the home team. Now, that just about wraps us up here. If you have enjoyed, please make sure to hit a like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.